Okay, we will start. Actually, the last point in yesterday's lecture we have missed, that is event handling, and we had seen the multicast delegates, how we are going to use that. Okay, so fine, with an example also I have shown you about how the multicast delegates performance, and also as we are taking the some different methods, but the parameters we are passing, or you can call it as a signature, will be same for multicast delegate. Okay, so now we will see what is event handling. Actually, event handling is nothing but the actual GUI application, how we are performing with the help of delegates. And on that also I have shown you one example of particularly when I'm going to press some buttons, then it is going to expose me or giving me the response back about the same. So with another example we will see. So I have created one program with an event handling program. Project name I have given. So let's start with an example how I'm going to get exact conditions, or with that publisher and subscriber mode, how I'm going to reflect that. So here we had used subscriber and publisher. So how the event is going to be happen with these both conditions, how that subscriber delegate and publisher delegates will work with each other, we will see here. Okay, so here I will write within the class program. In the main method, just I am going to create one thing, that is the class program itself is nothing but a publisher, or you can call it as some name as, just wait a minute, I will call it as, this is the class which is going to subscribe something within it. Now in the main method, where the static void main, where we have considered our main program, we have to initialize, or we have to consider. So I will do one thing. I will take one method, and I will make an object of that. So add two number. What I will do, I will bind that events. I want to bind something. So what I will do, I will just comment it out. So if I want to bind that delegates with something, that event, so what I will do, I will call some functions. But before that, I need to provide some conditions, or you can say classes. Okay, so before that, what I will do, here I will first of all provide a publisher class. Okay, I have created one class over here. Okay, so here what I will do, I will take some conditions. So here I will provide some methods. Public delegates void, as it is not going to write anything. Any method I am calling, that is the declaration I am providing for it, that is created for an odd number. Okay, so that is nothing but I am declaring some delegates. So I will just comment it out. Okay, now again one more method I am calling, that is event should be published. Event should be published. Event underscore, what I will do, I will give it the same name, add odd number. With odd number, okay, fine, I will write it. So, even an odd number I am giving it, and we'll make it as a declare event. Okay, now in that I will call one method again, that is public void add. Okay, this method will make some conditions, like I am going to insert some values over here, and we'll consider it as int g, or you can say it as int result. Say we'll take result equals to 10 plus 20, taking two integer values. Okay, console dot write line, that I'm performing the result dot to string, because need to be get reflected with these values. Simply now what I will check whether the result, I need to check whether the result is even or odd. Okay, so we'll take a condition like if result mod 2 equals to 0, sorry, mod 2 not equals to, I think I will take it, not equals to 0, ampersand, both conditions should be satisfied, because ampersand what indicates both the conditions should be satisfied, or both the conditions should be what we can say, should have the same conditions, and it should not get invalid. Okay, not equals to none. Okay, so I'm defining it, closing the bracket with some statement over here. Which statement I will follow, that is, which statement I will follow, taking exceptions. Why so? Fine. Okay. I will write that is nothing but it is going to raise some event. It is going to raise some event. So just in the main method, I will what I will say, I will just call that functions, that is a dot ev odd number, and should get concatenate. It's new add two number, it is present over here, and simply dot dg odd number. So it will reflect me some message I need to get. So event message, for that purpose what I will do, I will create one thing, that is a dot add, that method simply console write line, but I will console dot write line, I will not pass anything, and console dot read key, stop my output screen, to make it clear. So why it is not showing something? Message does not exist in the current. Okay, fine. I have created one method, and instead of that, I will what I will check for me It will check whether these conditions are getting satisfied or not. And I have created one. Okay, I have raised that condition, that is static void event message, and here I will not throw. Put some condition that executed. Like this method should get reflected over here. So this is the only thing I have done. I will just run this program now to get the execution. Build up is taking some more time. So it is shown me the result, that is 30. Whether 30 is the actual, it is not printing me the event declaration, that is whether it is even or odd number. Okay, so no issue found, it is saying me, but it is event handling program has been generated. It is not declaring anything. So what will be the actual output should be there? Check. Wait a minute. It's not showing me. There is something, but it is not. Wait, I will change the content over here. So dot right, I will take so dot show. That is not printing. It is not executing this method. Main, what we say, the event message is not getting event executed. It's publishing something, but it is executing and it is showing me the correct result. Result is going to be an even number, not an odd number. But here, if I am putting it as 5 plus 4, suppose I am giving as 5 plus 4, what it will give me? That event executed, and this is an odd number. This is an odd number. Okay, fine. So this is actual the event handling with the subscriber and publish class models, which we had seen over here. That is with the delegates and events, how we used to handle the event. Okay. Now the next point is multi-threading. Yes. Before that, we will see a concept of thread, how the thread works. So we'll take one example, or you can say one program, new project, which should get reflected with name as I will just make it as a thread, because before starting for multi-threading, we need to know what is thread in C hash. Okay, thread. I'll just take a new project naming thread. Okay, fine. It is showing me some values. Yeah, that project we are created over here is simple, and it is not some other things, but the thread is nothing but we are calculating some basic functions. Okay, so what is thread, how we are going to call? thread is nothing but it represents the functionality, or you can say it will create, and when we says that the new application starts, so we create a process, and for an application with that process we used to define or allocate some resources, okay, for that purpose. And this process, each and every process has its own thread, unique thread, okay. So that thread concept we are going to see here in math method, and why the threads are utilized or given, because main thread whenever I'm considering, it is saying that the thread should get start, so automatically we know that the with the help of system, the system.threading.task is accessed, or it is already given over here with my libraries. So what we will do, we will consider a main method, okay. In that we are going to call a single and primary thread, and how they are going to work over there. So how the thread one by one, because when we say the threads are getting override, then they each and every what we can say, the each and every condition is provided with some specific process, some specific id. So similarly a single thread we will consider, or we will go for it, okay. So just I will proceed further uh, with this, okay. In the main method I will start, I will just write some basic commands for console.writeLine, how my single thread will work. So we'll give a text. I will give a text like main thread starts here. I have just provided a string. I have not given any command or any execution. Just I am asking that my main thread is going to execute here, over here. Main thread get execute. I'm just making it in comment, so you will be also get better understanding, okay. Now what I will do, I will take 4 seconds delay. So a 4 second delays I need to know. So what I will do, I will go with program dot do. I'm providing some parameter, and that method I will call again. Don't worry why it is showing me error, you will consider, but I will just provide, because this is nothing but I'm calling some methods over here. These methods I will recall over there, and their methods will get fulfilled. Don't worry. What we will do again, later on I will write console dot write line main thread ends here. I'm just passing us comment over here, that is console dot read key. Now what I will do, I will provide this class itself public class, one method that is do some static. I will keep it as it is, void do some maybe. Okay, fine. So the error has been removed. I have called this method with in the same class with the class name, but having the name as a do some heavy. This is the method I have called in that class. I'm just passing some what we can say, a very simple program, no any difficulty, because only the small thread program I am initializing. Is saying like that. will make that thread. I'm calling thread dot slip, because slip for, you can give for 3000 seconds or 1000 seconds. I am giving it as a 3000 because I am I want to get delays with some of the conditions, like different one. I will again copy it, I will just paste over it, and only the string I will change. I'm saying I am tired, now I need break. Okay, so again these things is somewhat different. Then we will provide a thread. After that, thread dot slip similarly for 3000 I'm giving it the charge console dot write line, that I'm giving it as a stage 1. So again I'm calling the thread for slip. Okay, this much we will give. Now one more method, that is do something, that I'm going to call over here, that is public static void function, and I'm calling do something. That method simply, now what I will do, I will write for one condition, one string over there for console dot write line, in bracket I will pass I have done so much, only just I have done so much, this string I am passing. Now what I will do, iteration I will provide for it, because why, the iteration will make my condition to get stuck with something, because if I'm making it thread to slip for 3000, or you can say for a 3 second, then need to provide a condition for it. So for int I all equals to 0, then I should be greater than, I will give it as a 10, okay, and I plus plus. Here the condition will write, instead of that I will go directly for console dot write line, will make it as here should be give, should give something in one condition, console dot bracket, is the message, so read key, no message I have given, okay fine, it is showing me error, it's not taking. Taken the system. So we'll execute this program. We'll check one by one whether it is staying. Main thread starts here and I'm lifting. Again, I'm tired now. I need break. 1. Then 2 is not. I have done so much. Then lapse, it is given up to 10 because condition is provided up to 10. It should get revert me back. Means where I need to go for. And lastly, it is printing me as a done. Okay, so this is only the function of a thread, a simple thread. Now, what the condition of for the multi-threading in C hash? So multi-threading is a feature which provided by the OS that enables your application to have more than one execution file at the same time. So when we are saying multi-threading programming, it requires multitasking OS. Okay, so simultaneously when we have such type of concepts, then we consider for like this process in C hash. So similarly, when I'm saying that multi-thread running at the same time and performing various tasks is referred to as a multi-threading, a thread which should be considered as a lightweight process because it runs within the context of a program and take advantage of that resources allocated for that program. So here one diagram I have shown you, thread 1, 2, 3 and 4, and there is a process. So each one is providing or each one is executing its own process with its unique thread. Okay, so in C hash what we have actually, system.threading.thread class is used for working with the threads. So you can see here we have system.threading.thread. It is saying that, but we have tasks, the multiple tasks. So I have used here threading for that system.threading concepts over for a single thread, or you can say for a concept of understanding the thread, how the thread works for it. So I have just used over there. Now it allows you creating and accessing the individual threads in a multi-threaded application. Then the first thread to be executed in a process which we call that is main thread. Then the threads which starts the execution, the main thread is automatically created, and that thread which is created using the thread class are called the child thread of the main thread. Similarly, जसं आपण म्हणत होतो की बेस क्लास आणि त्याच्यानंतर त्याचे डिराइव्ड जे काही क्लास असतील तसेच सिमिलरली आपण तसंच इथेही मेन एक थ्रेड ठेवणार आहे, त्याच्यात त्याचे चाइल्ड्स आपण क्रिएट करणार आहे. And you can access the thread using the current thread property of the thread class. So we will go with example again for multi-threading. I will close it. Save. I'm naming the project as multi-threading. Just wait a minute. I will be there.
मध्ये काय बसलाय
Okay, where we are? Okay, multi-threading. So for this, we will consider a new program and simply when we say multi-threading concept, so with the help of the given information in the PPT I have just discussed, with that we will solve one, just a small example, not a big one. Check over here. So multiple threads we have to consider for this, and simply it is you can say as we can say it as a process of achieving the multitasking. Okay, so similarly there are some common classes for multi-threading, that is a thread, mutex, timer, monitor, and many more. So that we are not going to see because some of the part that is in OS operating system we had gone through it. So instead of that, only just for an example we will considering the multi-threading concept. Okay, check with this. So what I will do, I have taken the class name as this. Let it be. So I'm creating one class more. Class is given. In program itself, I'm creating one class. Click static void. We'll say method 1 for multi-threading. I'm saying Simply there I'm going to call one condition. Here I'm going to pretend something for int I equals to 0, I less than equals to 10, same condition I plus plus, I plus plus. So what it should give me the actual consideration, that is console dot write line, putting here method is, as it is in the 0th index I have given i's value. Fine. Now this will print me the numbers from 0 to 10. Okay, 0 to 9 it will print, or nice 0 to 10, because I have given greater than, I should be less than equals to 10, and the condition is going to be satisfied. When the values of I is equal to the 5, then it should get reflected with thread. So suppose what I will do, I'm giving here one condition like if I equals to 5, I equals to 5, then thread should get slipped for slip for 6,000. So this method I will just give it. Now what I will do, in the same class I will create one more method, static same. So just what I will do, copy this part, this much part. This is J. Okay, now what I will do, the main method, whichever I have, whichever I have. This is for last program. Main method I will just provide object th equals to new. In that I'm going to pass method 1, and simply the second one again. So let object 2 equals to new, thread, and in that I'm calling method 2. Okay. 2. Just make here using system for threading. So it will support. So, right. So what I have done, close to 5. Why it is not taken? We'll execute this program. Okay. It will check for condition which method should get reflected first. After each 6 seconds, it will reflect one by one which method is going to execute. Okay. Wait a minute. Changes. This. Executing. Giving the start. Sorry. Start. It was a mistake by my start. To provide, then only it will start. The thread will start. Okay. Again, I will take 6,000 because it will show me the delay. Change. So one by one it is getting reflected with after each loop. After each loop, these methods are going to be reflected after each and every condition. So whenever you are considering for these new threads, then you have to consider for each one after the completion. After the completion, you have to go for. This is the multi-threading concept. Here I have created two methods in a class, in same class. Two methods I have created, and in main method I have passed the object of that main methods with calling the thread. And I have asked that thread to get start, and I have provided delay of 6000, that is 6 seconds delay I have provided, so that it will execute within that periodic of time. Or you can consider over here with 8000 seconds also, that is 8 seconds. Again you can see one by one execution. 0 1 2 3 4 5, again 0 1 2 3, because up to 5 I have given. Then again it is repeating itself with the condition which method get reflected, again which method get reflected next. So this loop will continue up to what? Up to the condition I have given, that is less than equals to 10. Okay, so this is your multi-threading, and each process has provided with some thread which is unique, for each one. Okay, so this is the concept of the threading. As the process continues, but it is provided with some processes. Now in the thread we have some two conditions, that is static and instance member of a thread class. So when we call the static and non-static method on the execution of the thread, we have this, both these methods starts and pass the method name in the constructor. That is nothing but we are creating one constructor of a thread start class, and in that we are providing a static method, because do not need to create an instance of that class. So in order to refer, we can refer it by its name of the class. And but when we are going with the static, it is all happening. But if I am not going with the static, then if it is a non-static method, then we need to create some instance of that class, and so that we can refer it to the constructor, that is the thread start class, the constructor which we are going to build. That time we have to provide the instance similarly. So and same class, that is system.threading.thread, that class we are going to provide in our system. And currently when we are providing some members, static members, we here I have given current thread and thread.slips are the currently executing thread which cause your temporarily pause for a specific amount of time, and current thread gives a reference to your currently executing thread. So with the help of static member, how I'm going to call a thread class, we will see. Okay, just we had gone through with the theory part. Now with the static member, how I'm going to call a thread. Static member, I'm giving the name for a project. Okay, it's processing. Just wait a minute, it is processing. By using a static method, we will call it. How I'm going to call that thread. Fine. What I will do, I will create one class. In that a constructor I will provide, and I will name it as the thread 1. I will name it as the thread 1. Okay, class program, let it be. I will just provide one thing, that is I will call one class public class public. That method should be static. I'm using the keyword static for it. Thread 1 method has been called over here. Here I'm writing for int I equals to 0. Same, I less than equals to 10 and I plus plus is the condition I'm giving. Simply over there, I'm writing console dot write line. Value should get represented. Now in the same second class, that is public class for my thread, public class for my thread, that is the program I have given. What I will do, public class example I am giving in the main method. Here, what I will do, I will create a thread T1. Wait a minute. New thread, that I am writing new thread start thread example. Given static method, okay. Class is a program. So take a program. Thread T2 equals to thread start. 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 Just wait a minute and check in. Start. This it is static, through static method I am going to call. So like this, it is going to create condition with the thread slip or some condition like that. So, later on, what I will do. So for time being, it will reflect me with some specific output. That is nothing but the output of the program can be anything, because there is a context switching between this thread. So it will be 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, or later on when I am going to execute after some time, then it will give me 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 or like this. So this is your static method for creating a thread. And here I have called a constructor for the thread start.class. Means you can see here the public class thread example. That class I have reflected. Yes, that class I have reflected with some conditions. And here a class with name my thread I have created. So here the constructor whatever I have called with the same class name I have not taken. I have taken the different one, the class name, but the variation, that is nothing but the derived class, you can say. In that I have taken the one method, that is thread one, and the condition I have provided in order to print 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 10. Okay, with the time slip that is of 6,000, or you can say 6 seconds time slip I have given. And in the main method what I have done, the object I have created and call that methods. This method, only the new one method I have created in my class, that is my thread, and that method I have called over here and asked them to start. So simultaneously it is showing me the result up to 10. If I am going to make it close again and I am going to restart, it will again reflect me some basic values. Okay, up to 10, up to 10. Now with the non-static method, this was the actual static method where we had reflected only the constructor class, but with the non-static we have to create an instance. Here I have not created an instance. I have just created an object and directly provided the value of that methods and directly call that start method. But here I have not created any instance. Okay, so now for the non-static we need to create a instance for it. We need to create an instance for it. Okay, let's see how it is going to happen? With again a new project I'm assigning, that is with a non-static method, how I am creating a thread. Now same condition I will keep over here. I will just change the name of that class and make it public, so the access will be all over. The same class name I am going to repeat, my thread, sorry. Okay, now in that I am going to create one method public void without using static keyword. I'm just providing one condition, that is void thread one, same method, and in that the same condition for int I equals to 0, I less than equals to 10, and I plus plus, that is the condition I have given, and I'm going to write only the console.writeLine print I value. Okay, we'll provide a thread again here, thread slip into some condition 3000 I will give. Later on I will again here ask using system threading, so it will access the condition. Now what I will do, I will just pass over here with one method, that is a public class, same thread example I have taken, example. The main method will call over here. Just wait a minute. Fine. Where we are. Okay, I have created the main method. In that main method, I will create an instance also now. What I will do, my thread object equals to new my thread. This will be fine now. Do thread t1 equals to new thread. Now here new thread, again instance of the new object what I have passed thread 1. Thread 2 also equals to new thread. That same okay, start this program. Get the idea. Similarly, how I'm going to reflect that with each condition, how it is going to reflect without static. Here I have created an instance also, and because in static method I have not created an instance, I have directly created an object and directly passed the value and start that program. Here I have not used the static keyword, and similarly I have not created any, I have created the object as well as instance for the main class, instance for that your constructor I have called here, and then I am proceeding for it. Then I am proceeding for it. So we'll move how the non-static will go. It is reflect same. It will reflect the same, but the conditions which we have provided are different for it. Yes, here I need to call. If I am not going to call the instance, it will not going to show me the result in a proper manner. It is not going to show me the result. So that's why when I'm using static, it is mentioned here that you have to create you don't need to create an instance of that class, but when you are going for a non-static method you have to refer it as a constructor class, and you have to go for an instance, creating an instance for that class in non-static. Now what is instance, what is how the instance member of the thread class works? So there are some of the thread class which are the members. Most common instance member of the system.threading.thread are name, priority, is alive, thread state, start, abort. We are using start right now. Yes, instance start right now we are using. Similarly, there is abort, there is suspend, there is resume, there is a join also. These types of instance we are having with us in our C hash, that is we are commonly using for instance member. So similarly we will see one small example. Okay, we'll go for it. We'll create one example, that is for instance create instance member and send. So we'll see created. It is taking too long, just wait. It's not opening, just wait. We'll close it again. We'll save it on. It's opening. Close it again. I will reopen. Wait a minute. Okay, just check whether the most common instance member we are using, this is name, property, priority, is alive, thread, and start, abort, suspend, resume, join. These types of instance members we are using in the system.threading.thread class. So for that purpose also we have some basic thread operations also. Some basic thread operations are, they are the basic 4 thread operations: thread creation, thread termination, thread join, and thread yield. So these all 4 operations already had been studied in the OS, and these similar operations we are having here in our C hash. So we will check whether this the project is opening or not. It's taking a long time. Just wait. Basic thread operations. Created the basic thread. So main thread program we had already seen. Again, similarly, the thread properties when we are setting, then thread creation, then thread, what we can say, the thread termination, then thread join, how they are going to join, and thread yield. So these all functionings are different, and if you want to execute each one, so we need to provide some basic functions in each, in a main problem statement. So while creating for this thread operations, just only then overview I have given you, and similarly knowing that how the thread starts, how it suspends, will consider it. Just the cycle, or you can say thread operation is not, but this is the cycle how the thread is going to execute itself. Okay, so we'll check whether it is creating or not. It's taking some long time. Okay, yes. Okay, now fine. What I have given, I have given the project name as a basic thread operation. So similarly we will go with the same condition in the main method. I will create a child. What I will do, I will create a child, and I will perform all these conditions, that is resume, suspend, join, all these operations will perform on it. Okay, so we'll check. Just a minute. So I'm calling new thread start, which will make a print info for me. Okay, so that method will call again, so don't worry. It is showing me error. I will do one thing, that is right line thread state, passing the parameters over here, then t1 dot Let's do. What I will do, I will make a newly created state. For one start. Now, what it will write? Console.writeLine thread state colon fine. Now I will suspend that thread. What I will do, I will suspend that thread. That operations what we had seen, I will just make it as t1 dot suspend. Is it? Yeah, it is there. Next, what condition will be supposed to be there? Because already I have not used suspend, then resume. So one by one we will see. Again, console dot write line, that I will go to state that thread state sorry last one, that is I need to provide a resume that thread. We will write t1 dot resume again. Lastly, what I will do, just write a console dot read line or read key, you can say over there. Yes, this is fine. Here to the read line, static print code. Right. So dot write line method execution. So we'll see what's happening. Saying methods has not been created with it. It will show you the execution, that is unstarted thread started running and method execution has been done. So this is nothing but it is showing you the actual process after each start, what condition or what state it is going for. Okay, and when it is saying that it is executing rightly currently or not, so that time we can consider that these operations are that creation, termination, join, add has been happened to this. Okay, So this is only the basic thread operations we had, and we had seen the life cycle, or you can say states of threads in C hash. So this is only the example. We use thread state property of a thread class to know. What to know? We have used thread state. What it is explaining? It is giving me the value containing the states of the thread. What actual state is this? Means start, suspend, resume. Methods of thread we had used. Then the class to start, class to suspend, and resume the execution of that thread has been shown. Means like that, you are going to see here the thread state is first is unstarted, then it is running, then method is executing. So it is not showing me suspending or it is perform. So you, this is changeable. We can say vary thread states in our application based on our requirement. So when I'm saying like this, then the thread execution will be varying with some conditions, also varying with some procedures also. So you can print that conditions with new what we can say, the new thread methods or the thread execution part. Okay, so similarly when I'm saying this type of condition is running or it is executing, then that time I'm considering that these functions are basically performed over there, or it is maybe stuck to some point, stuck to some point. So I can give here thread sleep also, sleep condition for 2000. Again, that value I have given. Simply we will see whether it is executing or not. Okay, considered over here. Method execution started, method running, method suspended requested, and thread start and running. So you can see the changes, drastic changes after the execution and after changing the executions. Yes, you can see here that the conditions had been changed, that it is the suspend is also there. Yes, suspend is also there. So after suspend, I need a resume. So I will provide again a thread dot slip condition, which will again make me show the changes with the execution. Okay, now this execution will be different one. You can see. Yes, suspended request and it is again running. It is not showing me, it is resumed. Okay, so this is only the change. Again I will provide here. To provide me resume. Check. After requested, it should show me running again. Yes, so like this, these states of the thread will occur in each and every process will have defined with its operation. Okay, now this was the part of your basic thread operation. Now the next part, that is how I'm going to set the properties for my thread. Yes, so there are the thread dot property function, or you can say a property which we are going to set for getting a get or set value, that is indicating how you are going to schedule the priorities of that thread. So syntax I have given, that is public thread proper priority, and a priority in that curly brace you have to get and set that properties. Already we had done with the instance abstract class. When we are using, we are used this, and also while using the delegates we have gone through this syntax also. So here the thread priority is under the system.threading, as we are going to use the system.threading concept. So it is responsible for specifying the scheduling property of a thread, and these properties are again defined like this: highest, above normal, normal, below normal, lowest, and property value. So what is highest? The value of this property is 4. How it is achieved? It is given by a standard formulas. Okay, it is not defined by us, it is given in a standard formation for in C hash. So above normal, if I the priority I am going to set for 3, it is above normal. Normal value should be 2, below normal it value should be below 2, that is 1, and lowest I am saying whether when the value is 0, and the property value is default value is normal. Whenever I am not defining anything, means it is highest or lowest or above normal, so it is by default considering your priority as a normal. So we'll consider how it is considering the priorities for the threads also, for considering my values in my program. Okay, we'll take a new again project. I will set it as a thread priority. This is take. So it is going to show me the priority for the thread I have accessed for it. And similarly, when we are considering the priority for the thread, this is defined one. This is defined one. And if I am not considering any priority for thread, so it is going to be considered as a normal. Yes. So we'll check for it. Just wait, I have written already and it is showing me the project link. We'll go through that. And also one more thing, then when the when as usual as a programmer, if I am considering this priority, then it is explicitly assigned to it. It is explicitly assigned to it. By default the priority is normal. Then it does not, means OS does not assign that values. OS does not assign these priority values. And also if the thread has reached a final state, if thread has reached to its final state, it will consider and it will abort that thread and will go with a thread state exception. Okay, so these are some conditions for the priority, and we will consider, we'll go with one example of the priority how it is going to be set. Okay, so just take over here, call in main method itself. First of all, I will define here using system so that the error will not get occurred. Thread. Okay. When I am asking for a thread, it should get provided with t1 equals to, I am creating an object for each thread. Okay. So first one is work. I am giving the thread. Then next thread I will take t2 equals to new thread. Specifying it as a work. What happened here? Thread. That method I have initialized over here, I will call that part again next. Okay, so this is nothing but I am initializing the threads. For your understanding, I am writing here initializing the threads. Okay, here t3 and it's giving it new thread. Okay, now what I will do, I will set the priorities for these threads. Okay, I will set the properties, priorities, sorry. Set the priority of the thread. Means for T1, T2 and T3, what will be the priorities? So I'm going to just set. Okay, so let it be thread. What I will do, T1 We'll say T2 dot priority, it is there, yes, equals to thread priority, that is system dot thread priority I am giving, and that priority whatever I am giving is the highest, lowest, it is showing me which is highest. I am saying it is highest and giving it as a colon. Okay, now I will set for T3 also dot priority. Okay, it is showing me priority equals to system dot threading dot, and that will be, I will give it as a below normal. Yes, I will give it as a below normal. Only T1 dot I will get start with it. I will ask it to start. For T1 thread, I am asking it to start just. T2 again, I am asking to again. Just wait. T2 for it's also I am going to ask start. And lastly, T3 is also I am asking to get start. Okay, now what it will say, it will, in order to display, I will do one thing. I will just write display the states of priority. Okay, so what I will write, console dot write line in bracket, in the double quote I am providing the priority of T1 is, because I have not given any conditions to it, and index is providing 1, so it is saying me T1 dot priority need to set. Okay, fine. Now what I will do for T2 also sim, and for T3 also same I am going to write. I will just copy and paste. So just here I will mention T2, here I will mention T3, here T2, okay, T1, T2 and T3. Now it is showing me here work, for work it is showing some error. So definitely we need to go with public static void work method need to call simply. What I will pass over there, thread dot slip for 2000 I am giving the address. So here I have written, so I will just provide console dot read key to stuck my output screen, giving the value. Okay, so what I have done, I have just need how I am going to need that, how that priority of that thread is set. So what I have taken, I have just initialized some threads T1, T2 and T3 with name, and I have given them the priority, because the priorities are set through this condition. You can see here thread priority and priority get set. So this is only the syntax we have given, and that only we had used here, thread priority. And here, because I have not used directly here the thread priority using system dot thread priority, so here I have given system dot threading dot thread priority dot highest, it should be below normal. This, all these things I have given over here. Okay, so I will just run this program and we'll see what is the output. T1 is normal, because by default I have not given any condition for T1. It is normal. For T2 it is highest as mentioned, and for T3 it is below normal. It is given as it is. Okay, so this is actual your priorities, how we are going to illustrate. And if I'm saying for the class, or if the conditions are defined with other particularly with some conditions, that is lowest or highest, so that will be a different one with some words. If the different class is given, then that different with that class it will define you with some conditions. So here if I am giving 6000, what it will give me, check. Okay, so this giving me some values like this. So priority for T1 is normal, T2 is highest, and T3 is below normal as given mentioned below. Okay, so this is overall view of your thread priorities, how we are going to set that priorities. Okay, so this is given only with the, this is system inbuilt. I am just providing whether it is highest, whether it is below, and here I have not given the T1. So if I want to go for T1, T1 priority equals to system, if you want you go system thread priority, it is showing me, and it is I will kept it as a lowest and will provide the semicolon over there. So you can see here it will show me it is lowest, highest and below normal. Is it okay? Fine. Okay, now it is given as we have some conditions over here for the priorities also. Now there is a synchronization. What is thread synchronization? So this is the last concept we have, the thread synchronization. So synchronization is nothing but a technique that allows only one thread to access the resource of for a particular time, and no other thread can interrupt until it is assigned the thread finished its task. Okay, so until and unless the one thread completes its task, I am not going to assign, or he is not going to take any work. Okay, so advantage of thread synchronization, it will consistency is maintained and no thread interference, because there is no collision between the thread synchronization. Okay, so this is the main concept of the thread synchronization. The interruption is not there, their interference is not there, consistency is maintained, and synchronization is nothing but it will allow your one thread to access the resource for a particular time. Suppose I am having one pen and it is initialized for myself, so I will use until my work is get completed for a specific time. If I am giving the half an hour, then in half an hour it should be get completed, and that pen should be get relocate to or allocate to the other person. So this is the type, this is one type of the thread synchronization, means time limit should be provided for each one, and until and unless that time limit is not suspended or it is not over, then you have to wait until that, and I can't assign any of the work to that particular person up to that. So this is the thread synchronization. And what actually the thread synchronization deals with, it deals with the condition of deadlock, because we are having these all conditions in our OS. You had already seen the deadlock condition, means until and unless they all are in an ideal state. Starvation, priority inversion, busy waiting. So these conditions we have to face while using the thread synchronization. And some classic problems we have used, that is producer consumer problem, reader writer problem, and dining philosopher problems. So these all things we have with our thread synchronization. So basically how we will consider how the thread synchronization will go for, so we will see according with our one problem statement. Okay, with an example we are going to see the thread synchronization. With an example we are going to see the thread synchronization. So here I will put a thread sync problem statement. I will just write the project name as a thread sync. Okay, I'm creating over here. Okay, yes. So in I'm going to maintain the consistency. Again, I am going to maintain the I am not going to provide only one thread is initialized for a one period of time. So these all things we have we are having. Okay, just wait a minute. I'm writing it. It's taking more time. Okay, showing some time. Just wait. With a simple example we will consider, means suppose if I am going for a condition, so like that it is also called with some part. So the thread dot sleep condition we had used, because in order to pause that time, then join we are not used yet. So but for that purpose also if I'm considering then we will go for some conditions like thread synchronization, how it affects on your program. So thread synchronization is also a blocking mechanism part, as we had just seen. Thread synchronization is one of the blocking mechanism part, and also it is similar to the slip, but it does not pause all the thread. It pause the calling thread until the thread whose join method is called and has completed. So with one example we will see how that conditions get over, yeah, and how that conditions are defined with it. So I will just write one method over here. Just I will put here using system. It is taking, but we need to provide until if it is not if it is creating any problem, writing any error. So we need to provide that conditions. Thread. I'm creating an object for the thread. So thread. I'm calling as a method one. I will call that class again. Okay. So that will be better. Again I will ask for the thread dot start. Now I will create again one more thread with new object name thread equals to new thread and method 2 in that. Okay, and now I will ask it for thread 2 to start after some time, but later on when we are going to ask with an example of a join condition. With an example of a join condition, what I will do, it is asking me join. Okay, so this synchronization will see whether it is showing me the exact result or not. Okay, so we'll check console dot write line after thread 1, sorry, thread 1, what will be the result? We'll get to know more. Again for thread 2 join, what will be the condition? We'll see console dot write line. In that I'm passing after thread 2 what it's going to show me. Okay, so and here console dot read key. Okay, now what we'll do, that method 1 and method 2 are showing some error. So what will we do? We will consider over here. Here I will call that public static void method 1, that checked OTC third one OTC console dot write line, that is thread 1 executed. Okay, this is the actually joining process I have called over here. After that again I will call a static void third 2, again object, whatever the object I'm going to pass obj console thread 2 will get executed. So this much I have created over here. So execution will show me the thread 2 is executed because after thread 1 and after thread 1, thread 2 first will execute because I have given what condition thread 1 to start, but it is going to join thread 2 later on. So similarly, we'll see whether it is showing me, yes, thread 1 is executed, thread 2 is executed after thread 1, after thread 2. So this is nothing but we are making it as a pause. We are making it as a pause. So the task in order to wait, we are not using or we're not giving it. So this is only the thread synchronization part we are having here over on our condition, that is synchronization. So after one by one it is getting executed. After one by one it is getting executed. If I am saying how many delay time or it is going to consider, so we are considering it as some time limit is given to it, and without that time limit it is not going to access. Yes, so same conditions we are providing with this, and some conditions like that we are providing here. For method 1 object is given, for method 2 also object we have given. So object represent as object on which they release the monitor lock, which release the monitor lock. So if the current thread owns the lock count is decremented for the specified object. It is decremented for that specific object. If the count goes to 0, then exit has been executed, and the other threads writing on that object can acquire that lock, can acquire that lock. So this is the actual monitoring we are providing that object for that purpose itself here. Because instead in previously example we had not provided an object in the method we are calling. Yes, here we are providing because it will create a synchronization path. It will create a synchronization path. Okay, so this is all about your thread synchronization we had given over here, and this is all over about, because we had seen the three things, that is event handling, then we had seen the multi-threading in C hash with an example. Again we had seen the static and non-static and instance member of the thread class. How with the keyword static we are going for the creating the thread, with non-static we are creating the instance from the derived class. And instance member we had seen they are some of name, priority, alive. So priority we had seen how we are seeing the priority with the example of set with below normal or above normal, or it is normal, or it is highest, or it is lowest. Okay, so some thread operations we had seen. Which are the thread operations are creation, termination, join, and yield. So now just in synchronization we had used the join operation over here. Again the suspend, abort, restart, and start we had seen. Resume we had seen in the operation with an example. And now the thread synchronization is nothing but the technique we allowed the one thread to access the resource for only the particular time, and in that no other thread can interrupt until the assigned time is finished, that time task for that thread is finished. So this is the thread synchronization with the help of join. We had seen some deals. The conditions we faced in the thread synchronization are deadlock, starvation, priority inversion, busy waiting, and the some classic problems we had gone through, that is the this all these things are happened with you in OS, that is in operating system. Already you had gone through this. Only the problem statement we had taken for our example in C hash. Okay, same pattern, same condition, and same statements we are using from the OS also, because these priorities we used to set. These priorities are not set directly or automatically by the system. We have to set it. So this is condition we had used for our object creation, object going for. And this is only the synchronization, how that synchronization works in simultaneous formation. You can see here these executions are gone with some joining process, because after joining the thread 1, the thread 2 will execute. After that thread 2, thread 1 will execute. So this is only the conditions we are considering for our synchronization part, because each and every is one provided with one specific particular time in our synchronization. So if anybody is having doubt, you can ask right now. Yes, anybody is having doubt, you can reply in chat. Otherwise we will stop here. Just put attendance in the chat box. You can put your attendance in the chat box. And hence we had completed our fourth chapter, that is delegates, events and delegates. Okay, and all these conditions like that multi-threading concept, which all we have taken each and every example for each type or each point we have. For event also we had taken, for delegates also we had taken, for multi-threading and for synchronization part how it is performing, or for event handling also we had taken some of these examples. Okay, and simultaneously you can leave the session. If you have completed with the attendance, you can leave the session. Fine, thank you. We will stop here. We will meet in the next session with the new chapter, that is fifth one, file system and streams. That is how to take the input from the user end, Okay, we'll stop here.